Hello and welcome to another episode of Spooky News from Spooky Ventures. I'm Gary Hill and I'm your host. Today is October 18th, 2024, and we're now less than 2 weeks from Halloween. It's always nice when the rest of the world is on the same page as those of us in the spooky tribe, so this time of year is special, even if spooky really is a lifestyle, not a season. Before we get to the news for this time, I need to get the usual announcements out of the way. First, remember that if you want more information about anything we talk about here, there are two places to find that information. First, you can stick around after we're done, and all the source and more information URLs will be included as title cards at the end of the video. Of course, you can always find them in the details section of this video listing, and you can do that whenever you want. Next, remember this YouTube channel and really everything Spooky Ventures is meant to be interactive, so please interact. You can do that by liking our videos, sharing our videos, and commenting on them. You can also do that by subscribing to our channel. You can even send an email to keepitspooky@spookyventures.com and we'll get back to you. Now, with all that out of the way, let's check in with our remote reporter DB Lovecraft for the first news items for this week.
Thanks, Gary. We'll start things off with some music news. Duran Duran are at it again. Last year they released the Halloween-themed album Dance Macabre. On October 11th of this year, they put out a deluxe edition of that album. The new edition includes some bonus tracks. One of those is their cover of ELO's Evil Woman. They also released an animated lyric video for the song, which focused heavily on the spooky side of things. Moving to heavy metal territory, Ice Nine Kills also have a new video. This one is for the new single A Work of Art. The art in the title is Art the Clown from the Terrifier film series, and the song is included in the soundtrack Terrifier 3. Given Ice Nine Kills' general horror alignment and that connection, it seems an obvious choice for spooky season. Another music act with deep spooky connections, Lovecraft, that's spelled LVCRFT, have released a new album. Under the covers, as you might gather from the title, is a set comprised of cover versions of songs. In this case, they are all songs that are often associated with Halloween. From music, we'll move on to food, and specifically sweet treats. And we'll start with Krispy Kreme. They have unleashed a new line of Ghostbusters donuts. The treats are available for a limited time. The promotion is meant to celebrate the 40th anniversary of the first Ghostbusters movie being released. There are 4 spooky selections. You can buy them individually, or you can get them in a special box that looks like a ghost trap from the movies. To sweeten the deal, they also announced that anyone coming into a Krispy Kreme on Halloween in costume can get a free donut. You'll need something to wash those donuts down. Soft drink maker Jones Soda has released several limited edition Halloween flavors in spooky bottles. Now, it should be mentioned that these are not new flavors. They have renamed strawberry lime, green apple, and grape and given them spooky labels. You can order them at the Jones Soda website, and they say that orders placed by the 22nd will arrive in time for Halloween. And speaking of Halloween, the local networking app Nextdoor will be helping celebrate the holiday. As they have done in the past, they will do that by creating a treat map. That map allows people who will be giving out candy to be listed on the map. That way people know where to go when they are trick-or-treating. That's it for this part of the news, Gary. Now back to you.
Thanks, DB. I'm going to lead off with some movie news, but we'll weave some related items among the stories about films at the theater. First, let's look at box office numbers from last weekend. The indie horror film Terrifier 3 dominated the ticket numbers. It took the top spot from the big-budget Joker sequel, and not by a small margin either. I'm thrilled to see an indie horror movie doing so well. It's a genre near and dear to my heart. Now, for the first of those sideline news items, Terrifier will be moving into the realm of video games next year. That's because Terrifier, the arcade game, will be released sometime in 2025. There's a cool trailer released, and the game seems to have a great retro look and vibe while still pulling off the Art the Clown aesthetic. If you're a fan of the Saw franchise, October 20th and 23rd should probably be marked on your calendar. That's because on those dates, the unrated version of the film will be hitting select theaters. It's all part of the celebration of the 20th anniversary of the movie's release. Notice that I didn't say that it would be returning to theaters. That's because while the unrated version has been available for home video, it was never released in that format to theaters. So that makes this showing very special. They also will be including some bonus material to further entice the fans into the seats. If you, like me, are fascinated by new takes on familiar tales, an upcoming film might be of interest. Seven Dwarves is a horror movie that turns the familiar Snow White tale into a brutal horror setting. The movie is set for release in March, but some photos have recently been released as early promotion. A movie that's recently been announced as in production is the sequel to Five Nights at Freddy's. The film is set for release in December of next year and is being advertised as much bigger, with more at stake than in the original film. In a related story, some new rubber ducks have been released that tie into Five Nights at Freddy's. While they are technically more closely tied to the video game than the film, it's still a tie-in. They are released by Tubbs and are available in both full-size and mini ducks. For fans of Bride of Chucky, Funko has two new Funko Pops coming in December. You'll find bloodied versions of Chucky and Tiffany. They are variants of the original non-bloodied editions of the characters. While they won't be ready for delivery until closer to the end of the year, you can pre-order them now. Now let's go back to DB for some more home entertainment news.
Thanks, Gary. We'll start off with a new streaming channel. Scream TV is a new horror-based channel that is available on streaming. It's a free channel and can be accessed via the Distro TV app. It launched on October 13th, so it came just in time for Halloween season viewing. If you're a fan of Roger Corman and like your movies on physical media, Film Masters has something special coming for you. They have a new double disc set coming on November 12th. This is something really special too. Not only do you get better prints of Night of the Blood Beast and Attack of the Giant Leeches, but each disc also includes the Mystery Science Theater episode featuring the movie. The sets will be available in DVD and Blu-ray formats. Going back further, there's a new edition of Cabinet of Dr. Caligari coming from Kino Lorber. That movie was actually featured in the first episode of Spooky Movie Time with Scary Gary, which was before I joined the show. The film might be the first full-length horror film, and it's a real work of art. It's a silent film from 1920 that is considered one of the most influential horror movies of all time. This release will feature a new 4K remaster, and you can choose to watch it with different soundtracks. It will be available on 4K UHD, standard Blu-ray, and DVD. Another movie getting a 4K release is Jason Goes to Hell. The divisive entry in the Friday the 13th franchise will be released on that format by Arrow. There is no release date yet, but the announcement was made by director Adam Marcus. Now I'll send it back to you, Gary.
Thanks, DB. We're going to bring him back shortly for a look at our calendar. But before we do that, I just want to remind you of a couple of things. First, remember all things Spooky Ventures are supposed to be interactive. That's especially true of this YouTube channel. You can interact by liking, sharing, or commenting on our videos. You can also interact by subscribing to the channel or emailing us at keepitspooky@spookyventures.com. Remember, you can also find Spooky Ventures merchandise at cafepress.com/shop/spookyventures. Now, remember, if you want to know more about anything we talk about here, there are two ways to get that. First, you can wait until we're done talking, and all the source and more information URLs will be included in the video as title cards. Alternately, you can just look at the details section of this YouTube video because they are all included there. Now we're going to turn it over to DB for a look at the dates on our calendar. DB, can you tell the viewers what the calendar is, where to find it, and give them some dates that are coming up?
Thanks, Gary. The Spooky Ventures calendar includes all kinds of dates of interest to people who are into spooky things. Those dates include birth dates of famous creators, book and movie release dates, and more. You can always find the calendar at the bottom of the main page at spookyventures.com. Looking to that calendar, 4 movies open today. Those films are the second Smile movie, Smile 2, Rumors, Ghost Game, and Rippy. Sunday, October 20th is Bela Lugosi's birthday. Wednesday the 23rd is a special day. That's because not only is it National Horror Movie Day, but it's also director Sam Raimi's birthday. Finally, the movie Your Monster opens on Friday the 25th. Now back to you, Gary.
Thanks again, DB. Well, that brings us to the end of another episode of Spooky News from Spooky Ventures. We'll be back here in a week or two with another news update. In the meantime, remember, spooky is a lifestyle, not a season, so always keep it spooky. Spooky Ventures is the home for spooky content and spooky merchandise on the web. Check it out today at spookyventures.com. And remember, always keep it spooky.